We are going to be focusing on a very, very hot topic, which is how you manage your SAP estates post ChaRM.
Adopting a complementary solution like Active Control. So this is ideal for people that are either technically held back by ECC because of business requirements or financial requirements. They may have a toe in the water with S/4HANA systems and BTP edging its way ever closer and more integrated with those HANA systems. So what we find with Active Control is it can manage all of these landscapes. So it's almost like the perfect fit, the perfect solution. You have all that information that is there designed to give you quality of change, to save time so that you don't have to do the day in, day out job that you're always doing. You can hand over to an automated tool set that gives you confidence that it's going to work. The idea thing is that if you can get the change painlessly in as close left as possible, you don't have to have that problem when it comes to production to say whose change wins and who should go first and have all that conflict analysis to be run then, identifying it early with the conflict analysis. This is something that we've seen recently at a few customers where they've been invested in a dual track methodology for a while. And across the top, you can see we have the dev to production, the BAU track, and there is an active project track. We'll call it Project Alpha just because it's nice. And you can see here that the Project Alpha track is retrofitting into a regression system. So this would be automatic retrofit from DV1 and TS1 into your regression system. So all of your changes from the two tracks merge together. They can be tested together and analyzed. You can look for conflicts. You can be confident then you have a system to ensure that your changes from both tracks are not going to break production. So that's one perfect world that is working fine. Then what we found at these other customers that are doing the N+2, there's some regulatory change that comes along. And usually with regulatory changes, as you know, there is a timeline, they have to be deployed. No other projects can stand in their way, they just have to happen. And this is what I found amazing with Active Control when I first saw this. It's no more difficult to create an N+2 than it is an N+1. You put the systems in, you point where they've got to go, you take the feed from where the transports are going to be injected into the next system, where the conflict analysis is going to be run, and the automation just does it for you.
The next we kind of speak to is very much around your template or your global template. This is obviously the way they kind of have a standardized framework that is obviously multinational. Companies use it to implement consistent processes and systems across different regions, for example. By leveraging the global template within Active Control, companies can achieve both a uniformity within the operations, but they can also then streamline their data, and most importantly, they can enhance the overall efficiency. So we move on to the next complexity. We speak to kind of how we can manage very, very specific security related changes in this case. So we talk about kind of, high level, extra level of security when there needs to be a separation between your production and non-production systems, for example, particularly for secure locations, kind of like on the low side and high side, and there needs to be a disconnect within those operations. The Active Control, as we call it, air gap solution, is predominantly used for secure environments. So it passes these files between essentially two networks, right? So it can be via an SFTP, for example, even manually. But then this literally gives the full control, the visibility, and the audits of an SAP change across the landscape.
Whilst you can see within Active Control, within a business task, you have regular updates. Anything that you do to a change, to a transport form or a business task, there is a log entry written. So you can see where it moved, when it moved, and who moved it. As you can imagine from the title, this lets you back out a change. And in recent versions, we don't need to back out an entire import run now. It can be configured to just back out a single business task that has gone into production. So Active Control can manage the MTAR and zip changes that are the results of changes in the BTP landscape. What added value we bring to this is that it's a consistent workflow.